Even though we are slowly reopening across the board in the majority of the country, many businesses are still closed or will never reopen. We are seeing it in retail, and in health, we are seeing it in hospitality and travel. The most retail stores will be closing. COVID has hit retailers hard. Empty storefronts are becoming a common part of the city's landscape. People don't want to drive miles and wait in line and potentially get sick for things they could have delivered to their homes the same day. 2020 will see a retail apocalypse, a tsunami of retail closures, and bankruptcies. An unprecedented retail crisis never seen before in American history. More chain stores will be disappearing, and several mainstay retailers are rethinking the whole idea of having brick-and-mortar locations. A staggering number of stores have shut down. And it is not just about these big chains. 3/4 of retailers are small businesses, and those are the ones that are really at risk. As the toll of unemployment in the US is growing each week, for more than 2 months. Many economists and experts believe some of these lost jobs will not come back anytime soon. With consumer confidence low, when people do not have 2 nickels to rub together, when people are not making nearly enough to live. What do you think is going to happen with the retail sector? That is the particular concern in the retail sector. Over 2 million Americans have now lost their jobs in retail. Stores shed jobs, of course, as sales plunged. A record 16.4% down from March to April, a bloodbath for the economy, since retail accounts for about half of all consumer spending, which in turn drives some 70% of economic activity. In acute pain, clothing stores, where sales have tumbled nearly 80%. Already struggling department stores are down about 30%. Include that well over 50% of restaurants won't survive on 50% less occupancy, which means 50% less revenue. When many need 85 to 90% volume, and a high table turns over just to break even. The pandemic has speeded the shift to online, predicted to jump from 15% of all retail to fully a quarter, good for virtual stores, disastrous for ones you can walk into, many of which have now gone under. As a result, it's harder for retailers to both pay their debts and stay current to compete with behemoths like Amazon and Walmart. Now, across the country, some stores are opening up. But, even if retailers open, are people ready to go shopping? Even among those who may want to go out and shop and miss that activity, a lot of them don't have the means to do so, or they're reluctant to spend because they're nervous about the economy. Confidence takes a moment to destroy. It can take many, many months to come back. My guess is that 30% of businesses will not return or won't last long. And about the same percentage of people will remain unemployed. This setback will cripple the economy for the next 10 years. The debt incurred will be the pandemic killer. And while operating at reduced capacity under new rules now, businesses are passing the buck onto consumers. Extended hours, limitations on the number of customers allowed, improved sanitization methods, and a barrage of personal protective equipment, all comes with a price tag. Some businesses are tacking on a COVID surcharge as they navigate through the pandemic. Now consumer experts say these surcharges may push customers away. Macy's said that sales were down 45%. Because of online retailing, it is likely that at least half the brick-and-mortar retailers were on the extreme margin of solvency already. Online shopping already accounts for 11% of retail sales. The good old days are gone when mall managers wouldn't even meet with anyone not representing a AAA national chain tenant. Now they are offering free rent and incentives to CBD sellers and hot dog cart owners. Thrift stores will become anchor tenants. After JCPenney filed for bankruptcy, Hertz also filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy amid rising debt and a sharp drop in demand for rental cars during the coronavirus pandemic. The company is the latest business to fall victim to the coronavirus. This is just a start. We will have many more to see. I have seen news Aldo is also looking for bankruptcy insurance. Pier 1, JCP, Kohl's, Macy's, Foot Locker, Nordstrom. Then the universities and colleges. Starting with Halloween to Christmas, there are no parties, no celebrations. Rice and beans for celebration. Just wait another 60 days when the enhanced unemployment money dries up. There will be 50 million unemployed with not a pot to piss in. The depression is only in the unfolding stages, and the economic collapse that is coming will make the virus look like a picnic. Let's make a list of those that are still able to make the rent. 1. Gun shops. 2. Liquor stores. 3. Restaurants. 4. Retail stores. 5. Restaurants. 6. Restaurants. 7. Restaurants. 8. Restaurants. 9. Restaurants. 10. Restaurants. 11. Restaurants. 12. Restaurants. 13. Restaurants. 14. Restaurants. 15. Restaurants. 16. Restaurants. 17. Restaurants. 18. Restaurants. 19. Restaurants. 20. Restaurants. 21. Restaurants. 22. Restaurants. 23. Restaurants. 24. Restaurants. 25. Restaurants. 26. Restaurants. 27. Restaurants. 28. Restaurants. 29. Restaurants. 30. Restaurants. 31. Restaurants. 32. Restaurants. 33. Restaurants. 34. Restaurants. 35. Restaurants. 36. Restaurants. 37. Restaurants. 38. Restaurants. 39. Restaurants. 40. Restaurants. 41. Restaurants. 42. 3. Grocers. 4. Coin shops, thanks to the gold and silver stackers. 5. Weed dispensaries. 6. Fast food restaurants. While dams fail, bridges collapse, communities deteriorate, and homelessness grows, while jobs and the U.S. economy are offshored, the environment is degraded, and health care needs go unaddressed, U.S. billionaires are up $460 billion in just 2 months. And will be up $1 trillion, at a minimum, by fall 2020 election. Tens of trillions to Wall Street, the banks and corporate welfare socialism. America is simply going to drown in its unaddressed debt problems just as New Orleans drowned in Hurricane Katrina. America's economy was never strong, it just printed more money. This is just the beginning. It will get much worse when the looting, riots, civil disobedience, the chaos starts. Coronavirus has left the U.S. in economic devastation. Most small businesses and service industry jobs have been eliminated. Airlines are sitting. Restaurants closed. No sports or any gatherings. People are hurting and need money badly. 40 million jobs lost in 7 weeks. America is on the verge of losing everything. This economy is not going to just bounce right back. It is going to take years to recover from this. It'll get extended beyond the election. Bank it. The real ugly will hit at Christmas when all the businesses get to see firsthand how broke many are now, and spending for Christmas craters. Many will be homeless as banks take homes and apartments. People do not own anything. We will be a third world country very soon. The Fed and the banks will own everything. When you take a 30-year note on a house or property, you are really buying almost 3 houses in the end. You keep 1 for yourself and give 2 to the bank. Depending on your interest rate, that is. But it's never really your property. The county will stick a gun in your ear every month and tax you. Right around here, I see people paying $10,000 a year on their house just in tax. Imagine what taxes will be after this COVID BS with no income coming in for local governments. State pensions are a disaster. Politicians want to give hundreds of millions away to the homeless and illegals. They only get their money from taxes, your taxes. Inflation and taxes are going to explode. That's why GE and Ford and GE, all those old money blue chips are gagging on pensioners that they promised to pay. Well, now they can't pay. They are pension guarantee distribution companies that just so happen to make cars. That's the result of 4 decades of neoliberalism, capitalism on steroids. More is never enough, a dog-eat society, without humanity. This is gonna suck for a while, but we are finally seeing what is important and what is utterly useless. Overpaid, useless politicians. Social welfare at taxpayers' expense with no accountability. Institutions of higher learning that rib and exploit young people while offering a useless degree in debt, while tenured professors are basically fat parasites living off the servitude of young people who can't find paying jobs. And the list goes on. We could see societies on a global scale go back to simple living, learning skills, or knowledge that fixes problems and not teach victimhood as currency and a real responsibility to the community that results in positive action. 100 years ago, you knew your neighbors and helped them when they were in need. Most people don't know their neighbor's name right now. I really think this was one of the goals of the virus scare. They want to eliminate most physical locations of commerce. Everything is to be done online, less travel, less mingling with other people, less competition, further economic globalization, elimination of thriving local economies, ultimately moving towards global technocratic communism. Things are a whole lot worse than you know. Historic highs, monstrous lows, everyone broke, little hope. Sounds like a job for the war option. Welcome back to the Atlantis Report. You are here for your daily dose of the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth. The American economy is collapsing. This is the worst depression in history is just around the corner, once the rest of the world realizes that the US dollar is worthless. The day of reckoning approaches. Most of these businesses have their doors still open only because they do not pay rent. Once they get evicted, they cannot pay their suppliers and employees, and the chain reactions begin. Meanwhile, Robinhood traders clicking their mouse and popping antidepressants like they were Tic Tacs, continue to buy their lottery ticket shares. The chaos will not be a sudden meteoric event. Instead, it will be a gradual and insidious process. The poor dumb American will be bankrupted and evicted in a controlled process. At least that's what the globalists have planned. But, by the very definition of chaos, this will not be predictable by any means. We must rationalize the pandemic's aftermath in a thoughtful and mature way. Rashness and impulsiveness will not serve the cause of righteousness. Listen to what your conscience tells you. Follow its proddings, for that is the voice of God. Do not succumb to any relief initiatives given by the government. Seek civil disobedience movements. Deny vaccinations. Defy gubernatorial edicts. We must act as a hive. There's no way they can control a free-minded people. Huge swaths of Main Street properties are owned by real estate investment trusts and another high-flying, highly leveraged investment consortium. A lot of mom-and-pop investors bought shares in these financially engineered flim-flams thinking they were investing in something tangible, real estate, not realizing that they were really investing in a complex smoke and mirrors shell game run by rogue accountants. Commercial real estate has, like everything else in the financialization of everything world, been used as collateral for financial instruments running 25x 50x 100x leverage. It's subprime and jumbo mortgage meltdown version 2.0 waiting to happen, and once again, nobody could have seen this coming. Dang coronavirus. Everything was rock solid until that pesky bug showed up. Now the financial system is going to need another bazillion-dollar liquidity infusion from the Federal Reserve. The whole American economic system is very predatory and unforgiving and doesn't have any resilience when something disrupts it. In the end, it's the poor people who suffer, and most Americans could give a damn. It is a very poor system by any measure. The system was designed by the elites, for the sole benefit of the elites. 99.9% of the population has been screwed every which way, and those that control the issue of money, simply get more wealthy and powerful. To end the Fed, one has got to bring down their masters. The banksters are a gang of criminals, they are the head of that snake. We, the people, are definitely screwed. You don't pay your car loan, they take it. You don't pay your country's loans, they take it. Here is the kicker, they bought the country with the paper they print. Payday. Why have Americans allowed this to happen? Our forefathers properly warned us. This was the Atlantis Report. Please like, share, subscribe. And please take some time to subscribe to my backup channels, I do upload videos there too. You'll find the links in the description box. You will also find a PayPal link if you want to make a donation. Thank you wholeheartedly to all those of you who have already donated. Stay safe and healthy, friends.